Let's finish this job. I know we can. Because this is the United States of America. There's nothing, simply nothing we cannot do if we do it together.
Breaking news, President Joe Biden officially running for a 2024 re-election campaign. He made the announcement 3 hours ago by releasing this video. Thanks for joining us at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nada Irampour. So President Biden running with Vice President Kamala Harris once again. And Biden's senior advisor, Julie Chavez Rodriguez, will be the campaign manager.
Yesterday, former President Donald Trump claimed he would defeat Biden in a rematch. Trump currently tops multiple polls for the 2024 GOP nomination. A majority of Americans surveyed believed Biden should not run again. His age, a major factor. Biden is 80, Trump is 76.
So we asked what you think about President Biden running again. We tweeted out this poll that you see right here before President's announcement, and here are the results. You'll see right there, 74.7% saying no, that he should not be running again.
Let's get to our other top story here today. San Diego City Council reviewing an ordinance aimed at giving tenants more protections from no-fault evictions.
Now, this plan calls for renters to be paid 2 months' rent if they're evicted at no fault of their own. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol live downtown. They're supporters and critics of this. What are they saying, Dana Marie?
That's right. I mean, on both sides of this conversation, both landlords and tenants are speaking out. Landlords are frustrated that they're saying extra money to be paid to these tenants 2 to 3 months is very, very cumbersome, especially since most of them are small businesses of their own. Tenants, on the other hand, are saying that it's very hard to find affordable housing, and if they're misplaced, this could put them in a really tough situation. So that's why we spoke to an attorney with the Legal Aid Society of San Diego to break this down further.
And especially with like elderly and disabled populations who are on fixed incomes, they're at the most risk of becoming homeless. And so that makes that transition really difficult.
And so he's explaining one of the reasons why Mayor Todd Gloria and City Council President Sean Elo Rivera are drafting this. They say renters would be protected from day one of their lease with the exception of 3 months contracts. State law requires at least 12 months tenancy before protections kick in. San Diego's plan would also require that landlords who are evicting tenants at no fault of their own, meaning they're current on their rent and have abided by their lease, to pay those tenants 2 months of contracted rent for relocation expenses and 3 months for seniors and those with disabilities. Now, state law provides only 1 month currently. San Diegans who are renting under the Section 8 housing voucher program would also qualify for relocation assistance. Now, while the city of San Diego's proposal exceeds the state current law on several fronts, the county level San Diego's protections would not be the strictest. Under Chula Vista's policy, which also passed last month, protections also begin on day one, but do not include San Diego's exception for short-term leases. And while the length of relocation assistance, 2 to 3 months, is the same under Chula Vista's rules, the landlord must pay the larger amount between the tenant's current contract rent and the going market rent. So, of course, San Diego City Council will be meeting today at 2 p.m. A lot of those landlords are expected to be at that meeting, hoping to have their voices heard. Again, very frustrated about this new ordinance that potentially could be put into law. CBS8.com is a great resource. Of course, we're going to be following up post-meeting. I'm Dana Marie McNichol coming to you live from Harbor Island.
All right, Dana Marie, thank you. Well, today the California Assembly's Public Safety Committee will discuss 3 proposed laws aimed at curbing gun violence. Leaders unveiled the bills in Monterey Park. That was the site of that mass shooting during Lunar New Year dance. One proposal would require courts to keep cases open until defendants have given up their guns. The second would prevent government agencies from reselling seized guns and ammunition. The third would then require an interpreter to be present at emergencies in communities where a large number of people speak a language other than English. Today, San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria is in Sacramento. He'll testify there before the Senate Judiciary and Public Safety Committees to advocate for 2 bills. One would update California's conservatorship laws to make more people eligible for life-saving mental health treatment. That proposal has to do with homelessness. Another bill would crack down on the distribution of fentanyl.
The first of two people arrested for murdering a man in Chula Vista will make his first court appearance today. Police say 40-year-old Jesse Valdez was murdered at the Red Roof Inn Hotel on Broadway before being moved to a rural area in Jamul. His body was found Saturday. Officers say 34-year-old Jorge Rodriguez was already in custody for an unrelated crime when he was identified in this investigation. He will be arraigned today. A second suspect will be in court tomorrow. This morning, a man is in the hospital after he was shot by a CHP officer after authorities say he refused to drop a knife. It happened on the 805 near Imperial Avenue yesterday morning. We brought it to you as breaking news. CHP says the officers had just wrapped up a traffic stop when the suspect pulled up and charged toward the officer with a knife. He reportedly ignored orders to stop and the officer shot him. The man is expected to survive. This morning, a 23-year-old man is facing DUI and manslaughter charges after officers say he crashed into a car head-on, killing a woman and child in Paula Mesa. On Sunday, the CHP says Eric Arambula drifted off the road onto the southbound lanes of the 15, heading the wrong way. Authorities say Arambula crashed into two cars. A woman and child died on the scene. Loved ones have identified them as Courtney Taylor and her 4-year-old daughter, Amaya. 3 others were also hurt.
Well, this morning, police are looking for the person who assaulted a man at a Chula Vista restaurant who later died. Police say 59-year-old Jose Perez Fong was attacked by somebody on a crowded dance floor at Papagayo's Grill and Cantina. This on Otay Lakes Road. This happened 2 weeks ago. Perez died on Friday at a hospital. Police don't have a motive or a suspect description. Please call Crime Stoppers if you have any information on what happened that night. And now this morning, the San Diego Humane Society investigating the death of a corgi poisoned by a meatball. Rita Alosio says she came home one day and her corgi, Toby, was acting anxious and then seizures started. Eventually, he had to be euthanized. The owner found what looked like a meatball with a blue coating in her backyard. It tested positive for strychnine. That's a strong poison.
That was a shock because I realized that this may have been planted here on purpose.
Well, the owner's other dog now wears a mesh muzzle whenever outside.
This morning, some public transportation could be affected by a work stoppage. The Metropolitan Transit System says the company First Transit is in contract negotiations with its bus operators. This affects the MTS minibus and access service, which is for people with disabilities. The routes affected right here on your screen. You can contact MTS for alternative transportation options. MTS says trolley service and all other bus services will operate as normal.
And now it's 6:08 here. Oh, a cloudy start to the day. Hi, Evan.
Yeah, good morning. Another overcast morning. That's right. We are starting it off very similar to how we started off our Monday morning. So Tuesday morning, dense cloud cover overhead thanks to that marine layer that has reappeared. We also are going to see onshore flow through the day, and that means that cooler sea breeze. That's going to start to break apart beginning tomorrow. So beginning tomorrow, we'll have a much less dense marine layer. It'll be much more shallow. We'll see temperatures start to jump, not only because of a building ridge of high pressure, but because we won't have as much of that sea breeze. And take a look at the forecast for today in the meantime. 64 along the coast, still only a few degrees shy of average. 69 degrees inland, also just a few degrees shy of average. And then we start off the day with cloud cover that breaks apart steadily into the afternoon. Live look outside from La Jolla. Sunrise this minute. 6:09 a.m. is our sunrise. 6:08, I should say, and that means that we are 1 minute out from that sunrise. Sunset's going to come at 7:26 p.m., meaning our days are getting longer as we head toward the summer, and that means that that's more and more time on both the morning side and the back side in the evening to allow for that light to come in, to get your workout in, whatever you have planned for the day while it is still sunny out there. But we won't get that sunshine beaming on down on us until closer to about 11 a.m. and noon. That seems to be our sweet spot where we'll start to get a bit more sunshine in the mix. Not much fog to kick off the day, though we have seen some small issues related to visibility in Ramona and Kearney Mesa. Instead of fog, meaning instead of these clouds being very low down to the ground, they're in about the mid-level range. So not causing a ton of trouble of reduced visibility. Looking out at your current temperatures out the door right now, 59 in Oceanside, 57 in Del Mar, 60 in San Diego, 55 right now in Ramona. Let's take a look at how traffic is shaping up as we start off the morning. It's 6:10 right now, and there are 2 crashes that I will give a mention to. First one, right-hand shoulder blocked with a crash on the 52 westbound at Regents Road, not causing any major backups. That's farther south here on the screen. And then looking at the top of your screen there, you got the number 1 lane blocked with a crash on the 15 southbound at Deer Springs Road. That one is causing some delays on the southbound lanes of the 15, so keep that in mind as we head through the morning. We also want to show you what our border wait times are like from the CBP website. 170-minute wait in the general line at the San Ysidro Port of Entry, and a 90-minute wait for the general line at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry. All the latest on your traffic needs, cbs8.com/traffic. Back to you.
A lot of early morning backup. Thank you very much, Evan.